That is freaking good. This is good too. That. Hello, my cookies. Welcome to Russell Cooks. Thanks so much for tuning in. Welcome. Today, I got a great show. I'm going to be trying something new. I love cannolis. They're a pain to make. So I'm hoping to make it a little bit easier. I'm making something like dips and dip, kind of like a cannoli cracker, cannoli filling, deconstruct it, dip it, eat it. Probably a perfect end to a great football game, a nice little football feast where you got wings and nachos, and then your dessert is chips and dip. Get some cannoli chips. You got some ricotta cheese sweetened dip. This is going to be fantastic. I really hope it works out. Let's make it work. First things first, for our cookie dough, we are going to gather our ingredients. We got AP flour, granulated sugar, an egg, butter, masala wine. You're only using a little bit in these cookies, so it's tough to buy a full bottle. However, make some sauces with it. Chicken marsala, veal marsala. Good thing to have. It doesn't ever really go bad. Oil, I suggest a neutral vegetable oil. I'm going to be using a little bit of olive oil. I'm just going to brush some of these cookies with it to try and see whether I can get kind of like that fried quality to them in the oven. Last but not least, some salt. Now that we got our ingredients, let's get cooking. So in your food processor, let's do 1.5 cups of flour. This should work out to be about 7.5 ounces. For the granulated sugar, we're going to do 2 tablespoons. Table salt, you want about a pinch. Kosher salt, maybe 1/8 a teaspoon. And we're just going to buzz this together. It'll aerate it, it'll whisk it, if you will, together. And then we're going to get our butter in there. We're going to do 4 tablespoons of butter here. And you're going to want to cut it into about 1/2-inch pieces. Sprinkle it around here. This is for the dough. You're going to pulse this up until butter's fully incorporated and might start to look a little sandy. So we're doing maybe 6 pulses. Perfect. All right. Now you can kind of see it's less powdery. It's a little bit sandier. It's got a little bit of that yellowish color to it from the butter, obviously. Looking good. We are going to do 3 tablespoons of the marsala wine. Now we're going to add 1 egg, whole egg here. Just going to pulse this up until it looks like wet sand almost. Perfect. Look at this. You see how it's kind of crumbly here? It didn't come together and form a big ball of dough. That's our job next. Kind of looks like almost like the Dippin' Dots. So you should be able to pinch it like this and it should come together and be whatnot, but still be a little separated in here. So you got the right hydration. It's a little bit more moist than this. Add a little bit of flour, pulse it up. If you want to put it on a lightly floured counter, you can. That's another method. I don't need to. Now we're just going to bring it together into a nice little dough ball. Going to knead it, pick up all these little loose bits here. It's like Play-Doh. Should come together. Get a nice little taut exterior here. So now we got to let it rest. Put it in your fridge, hour at the least, please. So it's been an hour. Let it rest. Got my dough ball here. Now I'm going to roll it out. I like rolling out between parchment. Just makes it easier, less cracks. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to roll this out. I want it really thin, 1/16 of an inch. No metric here. We don't do metric. Still way too thick. A little bit of flour so I don't get sticking here. Boom. I'm going to cut it into maybe 3 lines here. And then I'm just going to do some triangles here. I'm just going to spray down my parchment lined baking sheet here. I'm just going to get these onto my baking sheet. Got a stool down here. All right, good. Now that I got these on here, you can make enough for 2 sheet trays if you want. I'm going to do a little experiment. I'm going to brush some with oil, see whether that makes a huge difference. I'm also going to sprinkle some with some pumpkin spice because it's happy fall, everybody. Let's have a little bit of olive oil. We're going to try this out. I got a bunch of pumpkin spice here. So I'm going to put that on half of them as well. All right, I'm going to put these in the oven. I have no idea how long they're going to bake for. 5-10 minutes. I'll check on them, but I don't want to keep checking on them and dropping my oven temperature. 450 oven, middle. Let's move on to the cannoli dip. Now this is my strained and drained ricotta. I got it right here. I got a lot of liquid out of that. Perfect. I've also got some mascarpone here. Now this, I like. It adds a little bit more cheesiness and it's very smooth. You don't have to drain it. I'm going to be doing 12 ounces of my ricotta, 12 ounces of mascarpone, and about 3/4, depending on how sweet you like it, about 3/4 of a cup of confectioner's sugar. You're also going to need some vanilla. And then at the end here, I'm going to make a whole cannoli filling. I'm going to try and incorporate a little bit of pumpkin spice into one, get a pumpkin spice dip, and then chocolate chips in another because chocolate chips are amazing. 3/4 of a cup, a teeny bit more. You're going to really want to mix this, whisk it. You can use a machine if you want, or you can use some good old-fashioned elbow grease. I'm going to take out a whole bunch here. Now I'm going to add a little bit of pumpkin spice to this. I'd say at least a teaspoon. So I'm going to put in about 1/4 cup of mini chocolate chips. Yes, look at this. Look at this. Fold it all in. Yes. That is freaking good. This is good too. That. I'm going to pull these out. So look at the ones that I brushed with oil. They were on this side. These are the ones I think they ended up being a little bit better. I like them. I'm getting browning around the edge. That's exactly what I want. Obviously my oven isn't even, so the ones on the edge got a little bit darker. This one got nice. This one, look at the bottoms here. Nice color on the bottom, so this is perfect. So I would say 8 to 12 minutes, 450-degree oven, middle rack, and you've got yourself some cannoli cookie and then dip. We're going to let this cool for a little bit. As they cool, they'll harden up. Hopefully they'll crack and have a nice crispness to them. We're going to let them cool for about 5 minutes. All right, let's try it. I can just hear how crisp this is. Let's try this pumpkin spice one with the chocolate chips. Let's just try. This is amazing. It's just a regular, great old cannoli filling. And then you get that pumpkin spice and the chocolate chips. They add actually additional creaminess to something that's already creamy as it kind of like melts in your mouth. It's delicious. It's the perfect amount of pumpkin spice. I did 1 teaspoon, 1 1/4 cups of the canola filling. This is amazing. It's not that sweet, but what you do is you get a lot of depth from that Marsala wine. It doesn't taste alcoholic. It just tastes like it has flavor. It's not flat. This isn't like a pie crust where you eat it and you're like, okay. And then the pie is like the star. This adds just as much as this filling. So let's do regular filling here. Hear that crunch? That is good. It's just smooth. It's creamy. Just the right amount of sweetness. And there's still a little bit of kind of like cheesy goodness. It's not like you're eating a 3-year aged cabbage cheddar here. It's just got a little bit of that cheesiness that adds so much and really complements that sweetness. And then the combination of the ricotta, which we strained, and then the mascarpone, it's just so smooth. Get a good ricotta, get that mascarpone, and oh my goodness. Oh, I need to make more chips. I didn't know how many it would make. 2 baking sheets, probably worth. Maybe cut them a little bit smaller. You might have to double the recipe if you've got a large group of people. This is fantastic. I love this. And I like brushing it with a little bit of oil. I can't taste the difference, but I think the ones that I brushed with oil got a little bit cragglier. They got a little crisper, to be honest. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, you can follow me on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. All the links will be below. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really enjoyed this recipe. I think it's great. A little fine tuning. And this is a perfect dessert for a nice group of people. And it's easier than regular cannolis. So thanks so much. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.